she recently started riding a horse for her trainer, and the horse has rain rot. His skin is a total mess, and there's no arguing with that. But she feels like people often call any skin issue rain rot. What really is rain rot, and how would she fix it?
I think she's said some very honest things there. I do think that a lot of people see anything in the horse and like, oh, rain rot. Rain rot is the term we call dermatophilosis. So it's caused by a bacteria, Dermatophilus congolensis. And it's an opportunistic bacteria in that this bacteria lives on horses, lives on you, lives on me. It's everywhere, but what it's doing is it's waiting for a break in the skin to then...
It's waiting.
And it's waiting for moisture. It really likes moisture. So in the winter, when horses grow a long coat, they can trap moisture under the coat, and it sets up the perfect environment for the bacteria under that skin to have a little heat, a little moisture, a little, maybe some not great nutrition, maybe some immune suppression. Cushing's horses notorious for getting this, and then it breaks loose. And what it looks like is classic presentation is these paintbrush lesions. So there's these crusts that are sort of rounded, and they come off pretty easy. They're a little bit painful, but if you pull the crust off and look at it, it looks like a paintbrush in that there's hairs underneath the crust. And a horse's back might have a lot of these, and so your veterinarian is your best person to tell you for sure it's rain rot, not some other skin condition, but to help you figure out the underlying problem, because you can treat it all you want, the current problem, but if you don't fix the underlying issue, it's just going to come back. So you've got to say, you know, maybe a blanket, a sheet to keep the wet off, maybe increasing the nutrition in the horse, maybe diagnosing and treating the Cushing's, whatever the horse needs. And then your veterinarian will also help you with the treatment of the current condition, which is usually a combination of, you know, removing the crusts and maybe some shampoo, maybe some topical, rarely antibiotics, because it's not a whole horse thing. It truly is just one area. So you have to work with your vet to figure out why your horse had to begin with, why does this horse have it, and then let's get rid of it. And so it's not contagious, but you do, when you pull off those crusts, you don't just leave them on the ground, because they have high numbers of the bacteria. So you want to be careful with those, and it's probably a good idea not to share equipment of a horse that has that with other horses. So like a saddle pad would be a great thing. It's called a fomite. It's something where this inanimate object has the bacteria on it, and it's transitioned from one thing to another. That's a fomite. It's our word for the day.
It feels like in like all of those movies that you see about like viruses and stuff, where it's like glowing, and you can imagine the saddle pad is like just thriving with the.
They're just waiting for the next victim.
And is it fair to say that it's only the equipment that's in the affected area? Like if he has rain rot on his back and he's using boots, could somebody else use those boots and have no problem because it's not a whole horse thing, or would you say all the equipment, just keep it for him?
For that, I would keep it just for him, because you wish things would glow. You wish when things had viruses and bacteria and other germs, they would glow, because think of a brush. You might brush the horse everywhere, brush the legs, and then you put the boots on. So unless you're really good about, like, I've got a sick area brush and a well area brush, I would probably keep everything for that horse. I mean, halters, everything, yeah.
Okay.